Hey, welcome everybody to Battle Pirates Crib. I hope everybody's doing well. And we're going to talk about Bounty, the new ship, the Piranha, which has some. It's interesting. I think you need to. And let's go ahead and introduce everybody. Lady Cat.
Hello.
Magic Mike.
Hello, everybody.
Kenny. Okay. And Derpy, they let you out of the back of the van, didn't they?
Yeah, I'm wherever I was. I'm here now.
Okay, very good. Glad to hear it. Those vans around there, yeah, I've heard about them. So, and their comment, three dislikes before the show started. We had 36 minutes before the show that even started. Quite impressive. So let's get going to the first slide. And how can anybody disagree and dislike the fact that there are no bug fixes? So everything is all good. So I'm glad to see that.
How long has it been since Kixeye has had a quality assurance department?
The person I know, well, I'm sure they're out there, but it's been over a year since the last time I knew somebody that was part of the QA. So I don't know. I'm not sure what the answer is to that. So let's move on to the next ones, unless anybody wants to explain some bugs that are new. But right now, we never got the designs diary for the Saw Factory follow-up TBC. So right now we're in the middle of the beginning of Bounty 34. We had the art showcase and the update. Next week is not to be Canadian. It is shipwrecks, undefined on what the prizes are going to be or any details associated with them.
Disappointing. Very disappointing.
Is shipwrecks not this week?
It's next. Well, there is shipwrecks associated with Bounty, but from what was in the update notes, or was it BP next week? One of the two explained that the 1031 week was going to be shipwrecks, just pure shipwrecks, not one part of Bounty.
Pure, unadulterated shipwrecks.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, I didn't watch the show then.
It was in their back pocket, remember? We were talking about all the things in their back pocket.
That's when Derpy was kidnapped and put in the van.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So these things will happen. Okay, and we're going to go to the PvE calendar, which I take with a grain of salt, as we have 4 Wednesdays in August, 5 in September, but we have a special activity in August, but not one in September. There's not, again, this is lining up for another Shipwrecks week, potentially. I guess we'll see how this Shipwreck week works, or they will. And I don't know, but I just have this on here just to remind people that the September 2nd pillage is a Zealot Everest tier S/X targets. So the highest level targets are going to be for the Everest, while your Praetorian is getting pushed down to the lower level targets. So that might set some goals for some people as far as development of their Everest. And we don't even know what's coming out this pillage. Could we see upgrades or whatnot for the Everest? So otherwise, I don't know what's going on with some of the things going on with this calendar. Thoughts, anybody, before we move on?
Well, I'm not as anti-calendar as you are. Just putting that out there.
Okay. No, I'm very pro calendar. I'm just not sure what's going on here. So Alrighty. Well, let's move on to the next slide. As Derpy is pro calendar. There are, I think, a very important thing for pretty much every player that hasn't coined the complete crap out of their Mutineers and got them all up to X1. There are 8 build tokens available on Mutineer on the Bounty and 5 upgrade tokens. So this could allow you to bump your Mutineer fleets up a little bit as to get better performance in the next raid, and then future TLCs and future pillages and whatever else is going to happen with these with your Mutineers. This is a skirmish target. We've seen this before. You can do it with your riots. Personally, I am upgrading my flag to X1, my Mutineer, to try and do the later ones. Just hope it's easier because the Mutineer provides with self-fueling of the proto weapon, the proto cannon. So because these targets do not have any of the ammo ships that we're used to using. But everybody was able to do it with their riot. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people were able to do it with their riots. So, we got a special comment for you, Kenny. So, just so you know. Okay.
I guess Kenny has a challenge.
Yeah. Well, I don't get as much fan mail as you do on this show, so
Plankton.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if we've probably run through this before. These are old targets that we've seen before, and so I don't know. I don't know if there's any use to running through these targets again. Any tips and tricks or whatnot for Mutineer on the Bounty for anybody that's doesn't recall it from last time? It's a lot of old raid targets for the riot.
Keep moving. Use shift click.
Yeah. Pace yourself.
Don't get hit by the flaming trash cans.
Try to do one every day if you can, just so that you're not like waiting until the last minute and have to do all of them. So pace yourself throughout the week, get a little bit done here and there, and it won't be so bad.
Okay. Alrighty, let's move on from there then. High Seas Heresy. Is there any changes that? Okay, I wasn't really sure how to approach this one. You have the ability again to get 8 Zealot build tokens. I already have 10 out of 10. But this gives you a good opportunity because the Zealot is going to be in pillage, TLCs, whatnot from now forward. Is anybody's build different from some of the ones we presented on earlier shows that people might want to change to? What did we learn on this target, these previous targets for the Zealot? Is there anything that anybody would recommend that people, if they might have not done originally, to use up some of these build tokens? It's obvious if you're not at X1, you want to use the 5 Zealot upgrade tokens to potentially push another ship up to U3, X1, or U2, whatever you are at. But is there anything that anybody thinks of that they want to do as far as changing their builds from first impressions or anything after?
I never have time to go back and change my build, so I don't think about it.
Well, that's not the point because you have
I know. I should.
you
I
have,
should
you have,
think
you have
about it.
8 days of tokens to change them, to refine them, and so
I don't
Jer-
mind
Jerby,
anything special.
I mean, I can see you taking the
Well,
time to go back.
I put limited weapons on. Maybe that's about it.
okay.
I have one that's a countermeasure setup, but all the rest are the same, and they seem to work okay. I don't know if they're excellent.
Okay. Well, this might be an opportunity on Friday. If anybody has a Zealot build that you think might be suboptimal, maybe you can come on the show, show us what it is, and we could find a use for these 8 days of build tokens to with no actual use of shipyard time, improve their performance.
Yeah.
So
That'd be good.
I think pretty much all of the kick spaces seem to have the new defender, so we'll get to that.
I didn't do that.
Somebody else did, but
Well, the 142 doesn't.
oh, the 142. Okay, the 142 doesn't. Okay. All right. Well, let's move forward. Bounty 34.
That's not a paper towel.
There's no 30. I couldn't find a 34 pack.
But it's a bounty 34.
Or this 12 rolls of bounty equals 34 rolls of bounty. The whole paper towel math and toilet paper math is quite confusing for most people. It seems to take at least an online course, if not, something more comprehensive to quite understand the math that they use on the outside of paper towels and toilet paper. So it's the higher they go, the more difficult it's 36. I think I'm going to be able to nail. 35 might be tough. I did get help from somebody. They sent me 2 ideas, and then I sent them this one. We thought this was the best of the 3 as far as things went, because this is a ship. So alrighty, let's move on. Let me see. 142 is still instant fix on the map with subjugators or UAV hellswarms. So there we go.
Better for MPSN. Yeah, there it is.
Yep. So maybe we'll get into that a little bit later in the show. All right, the new Tier 9 Defender is the Piranha. I've compared it to the Gatekeeper, another Tier 9, just so everybody can see. The defenses are the same. The armor points have, not 500%, but 400 and some percent more armor points. So a lot more armor points, but I think this is also related to the fact that the Gatekeeper spends a lot of its time underwater, so it didn't need as many armor points. So imagine a Gatekeeper with 150 million armor points. That would be pretty crazy. I'm going to go through this quickly, and then I'm going to go through the weapon. And I think we need to talk about both the weapon and the ship at the same time, because independently they don't make as much sense. It does have a combat speed of 24. However, this cannot be driven. It behaves in a similar nature to the Carnage. But from what I know, the Carnage went after the closest ship. It appears that from what people are seeing in the bases, that the Piranha might be going after the lowest health ship, but we'll get more into that. It has a special weapon. The permafrost cannon has a range of 45, which is quite similar to the range of the weapon that goes with it. And it does does some damage, but the big thing is it reduces the speed of any ship caught within the splash radius by 25%. Has a salvo of 1, reload time of 8. One more click. Okay. The ranking, I'm assuming that's VXP upgrade, but ranking will drop this if it's skulled down to 2, and with the assumption that autoloaders and anything else that increases your ballistic reload will also further drop this down to, if you use the right autoloader, down to below a second. It only slows ships for a period of 4 seconds, but if you have a reload time of less than a second, that is pretty good, but it doesn't do one more click. It does not slow them below the 25%. So you're just keeping them at that speed, because normally permafrost, I guess we'll go to Kenny on this, as he's in Canada. Permafrost lasts normally longer than 4 seconds to be defined as permafrost. Permafrost melting is a huge issue in certain places associated with global warming, but it wouldn't be if it was only permanently frozen. These soils were only permanently frozen for 4 seconds, or frozen for 4 seconds. So this will allow you, as long as your ship's alive and within the 45 range, to keep them slowed down, not necessarily frozen. But Kenny, you agree permafrost lasts longer than 4 seconds?
Well, yeah, I don't think there's such a thing as temperfrost.
Okay.
Temperfrost?
Yeah, we got more fans.
Well, it's not even quite 4 seconds, because everyone's got slow and stun resist on their hulls. So my Warhound with 80% stun resist is only slowed for 0.8 of a second. So you do need to keep your reload, keep firing really, really quickly to even keep it semi-slowed.
Okay. But yeah, the main point with this was not really about Kenny, or it was the max cap, and Derpy provides some good information as far as keeping them slowed. Is there any defense that you know of, Derpy, as far as anti-slow, or do any specials combat the permafrost cannon?
Well, as far as I know, well, one, it's accuracy based. So if it's accuracy based splash, so if it misses, it does nothing. So evade helps, and then slow resist should work against this because it's just slow.
Okay. Let's two clicks back. Okay. It has a. I don't see an accuracy number here.
It doesn't apply a field; it applies a slow, and it.
Well, I'm just wondering if it's the right one, because the thrower shows it. I just don't see an accuracy.
Okay,
number.
The cannon might just be pure splash. Let me open my shipyard and double check.
I took this out of my shipyard about 4 hours ago, because you can see it's you do not own this.
The cannon is pure splash, so evade only helps against the thrower, not the cannon. At least that's to my knowledge.
And Braden is sort of new at this. The dumbfire weapons, normally if you see dumbfire and 100% with player weapons, it just means that 100% it's 100%, it's going to hit the spot it aimed at. Not that it's it still means that it's dumbfire if it says 100%. At least that's the way it worked historically.
Oh, my inside my base now, it's not showing any accuracy stats. So I think both these are splash.
Okay.
So slow resist should help, and that's about it.
Nothing should work against built-in weapons like the Conqueror Hull's built-in weapons. I'm not talking about countermeasures, Ninja Penguin. I'm talking about a special that would combat the slow effect that the weapon has. That was more my question, because I know that built-in weapons in PvP can't be countermeasures don't work, but I don't know, unless I'm missing something. Does what I'm saying make sense to anybody? I guess not, or maybe it does.
No, I'm just trusting you.
Derpy? No, the van got him again.
Yeah, I don't think you can shoot this down. I think the only way to mitigate any sort of effect is...
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying shoot it down. What I'm saying is mitigating the slow effect, because we have...
As far as I know, the only way to mitigate that slow effect is to dodge it by moving away because it's dumbfire, or to use slow resistance.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Specials that do slow resistance. That was
ECM dampener 80% slow resist.
Yeah. That's what I was. That was the question I was asking. All right.
We'll know more Friday.
Yeah, or maybe even today. So let's move on, because we want to discuss. Okay, one more click after this. All right, the weapon is very interesting. You can only put one on each hull. It is not a damage dealer. It only has a range of 45. There are a couple of specials. This is going to be a tricky balancing act, and we'll get into the range issue in a bit. But it has a stack duration of 500 seconds, which is like 8 and a third minutes. Each hit is reducing every type of deflection. To get to each max deflection, you need to hit the hit the ship 1,500 times in order to achieve that, which I think with the quite snappy reload time of 0.2 seconds will take you about 3 minutes in order to achieve that maximum. So don't expect to achieve that.
I'm not 0.2 seconds per reload.
Mm-hmm.
That would take you 300 seconds, which is 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Yeah. 5
so
minutes.
One ship will take you 5 minutes, but if you have two ships with two weapons, you can do it in half the time.
Okay, and you can claim up to 3. So it's right.
I'm not sure on the claim count. 3 would make sense to me.
Okay. So
yeah, it's 3.
Okay, so this is it's an interesting weapon, and again, I want to get into the fact that as we discussed previously in regards to the hull does have combat speed. Your combat speed can be increased, but you do not control it. So this is fascinating, because that 5,000 damage is, it's going to take you a long time to get any ship. That 5,000 damage is not going to be more than deflection. But what is happening, because it's affecting every single damage type, is that this is basically I consider it in 2 ways. One, it's a great slowdown mechanism, because they only have 5 minutes to hit your base, and so they're going to try and run from this. The other thing is it basically weakens the ship for the entirety of the hit. So if they're forced to, they can't prep you anymore, so they can come in, go out, come in, go out. But every time, your ship is going to be healed back again. So this is sort of a fascinating. I do think I have it. Earlier in the show, at the beginning of the show, I said you need to have at least 2 of these. We'll talk about that later. But what does everybody think about this? It needs to be in such a position that you can use the weakening you've done of this hull to take advantage of your other ships and your turrets in order to maximize the effectiveness of this hull.
And I have to keep it alive long enough for it to even. Well, because it's only got a range of 45.
Mm-hmm.
So, if I have to be careful, putting it behind gates, where they could snipe it out, even though that'll take time.
But you don't want to do that, because if you keep it behind gates, remember it's a whole different thought process with everything getting healed. If they don't kill you in that 5 minutes, so who cares if they come in, kill your ship after 45 seconds? It's going to heal back in unless they take your base. But in the meantime, if you're able to get close enough to reduce their deflections the whole time, all your turrets, all your other ships are able to do that much more damage.
Okay, that makes a little more sense.
So this is a completely different. When the designer who made this said that he was going to make hulls that were more utility and never just a pure damage ship, this fleet is basically an only utility, no damage. That 5,000, 3,000 number is so small that you could go with the right build, and once you maxed out deflections, it could start doing damage after 3 minutes. But I think most people are just going to run this as a pure utility, catch up as fast as you can to the enemy fleet, start shooting at it, and chase it around the map the entire battle to make it weaker. Yeah. It's really, really interesting. The placement of the ship in my base makes my brain hurt. Trying to come up with the build for this makes my brain hurt. Trying to attack this and defend with it, it's so different that it's nothing like anything we've seen. I like that.
Yeah. So the effects. So he affects the apples. I'm going to read it my own way. So the effects applies when hitting the ship doesn't wear off. 500 seconds is 8 minutes 33 seconds. So, it doesn't wear off. And if you do get hit, the only way that would sort of apply is if you got leveled, but the ship was still there, but still you have a 36-hour bubble. So the way I see it is, you put it out front, but the problem with putting it out front is, the way I saw to counter it immediately was, I'm going to have a sacrificial ship that's faster than it. I'm gonna lead it right up to that, and then I'm gonna make that thing chase me around the base the whole time. Potentially, if I have a fast enough ship, I get back to the entrance again. But I'm taking the other 4 ships and I'm running right up. I'm going right into the base at this point. That's why you need to have 2.
Yeah, that's definitely an idea. But base attacking is so balanced that if you have a ship that has, you could take one of your trenchers or warhounds or whatever, run around the outside, but then you're one weaker.
Right.
So it's tricky. I mean, you can, the 150 million armor, 100,000 use deflection, you can spend about a minute killing it outside the base if you want to, but you'll be debuffed a bunch by then. See what I'm saying when it's tricky?
Or the other thing is, you could do like some...
You just ignore it and charge straight in.
Yeah, but if you start putting... if you're if it's able to follow you and stay in range the whole time, then that would be a problem, because as it's hitting you, it's draining your deflections the entire time. If it's able to stay in range,
Yeah.
the combination of the thrower lowering your deflection and the permafrost, quote unquote permafrost cannon, is constantly keeping you at 75% of your normal speed. You know, you may be able to stay in range. Does that make sense? As far as that's what I'm thinking. Just lead it out to pasture and maybe run around and do a little loop-de-loop and come right back up. So
yeah, that's an idea.
okay.
If you can drive 5 ships like that. But it takes one ship out of the equation for a bit of time, and that.
Yeah, but you've also taken his ship out of the equation as well. You've taken one of the defenders out of his base and no longer being effective.
Because even if I take one trencher and pull one or even possibly two of these piranhas out and chase it in a circle, or even just stop and have them hit me, you could get into the whole base with the 4 other ships now, which seems like that could be a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
So then, as the defender, you can hide one of them a little bit inside your base, but not too far behind a gate, or with, say, a concussive sync drive or any kind of sync drive, so it doesn't move. You could hide it just a little bit in your base, but not too far back. It gets really interesting.
Well, if you put the sync drive on there and it's sitting still, it has a 45 range.
Which
you
is
got
nothing.
Yeah. That's what I was going to get to. So, yeah, having it sit still or behind a wall or whatnot, it doesn't make a huge amount of sense to me. It seems like it needs to be acting as your outside patrol.
Well, if you had 2 of them, one could be inside or one could be outside.
Why would it be outside? Because most of the time, the weapons that are doing damage are directional, and so therefore, if it gets inside your base, the main thing this ship is doing is lowering the attacking ship's deflection. So if he's already inside your base, and all your directional heavy weapons are. You're already past them. What's the point? This ship needs to have its impact before it's out of range of your directional weapons.
Agreed. But if you had it sitting still somewhere where it has to be, where it's inside all your directional weapons,
then it's only going to fire for like 30 seconds.
Or if that, yeah, it's only going to fire for a little bit. This needs to fire for. I'm not sure who's providing the feedback, but it's.
Not I.
Okay.
And unmute.
Okay. All right. But the main point that I see of this weapon is sort of like an outside patrol that provides 2 functions. It is if people want to run from it with their whole fleet and then try and kill it, that's probably going to take them a couple of minutes to kill it.
Right.
And so, now he has 3 minutes left. And even if he didn't get hit, he's lost 2 minutes. If he has gotten hit, he has reduced deflections on his ship across the board for every damage type. So, and then Ninja Penguin saying it's too slow. And that was the other thing that I wanted to get into as far as both the range of the Forge Fire Thrower and the Permafrost Cannon are 45. There are ways to boost both of these. Like you can use the polonium accelerator, and you could use the radioactive scope to increase the range. But then you run into the issue, unless the enemy attacker is coming at you, then you need to also put something on that's going to increase the range of the cannon to keep them slowed down. And I haven't had enough time to play with it to figure out if you can increase them both so they're both firing, because remember, you cannot control this ship. It's working on auto the entire time, so I haven't had a good look at that. So
you really can't. Like, you could do a ballistic and radioactive scope, for example. I would take up 2 specials. I wouldn't change anything about the ranges, with the exception of potentially Reaver Scout Engine,
which would drop the range down to a 22.5.
Which doesn't matter because it's going to be really fast and stay with the fleet anyway. And the ranges are the same, so...
Yeah, and the debuff with the Reaver Scout Engine dealing with accuracy doesn't matter because these don't have accuracy.
I believe that's correct.
You believe which is correct? They don't have accuracy, or
everything you said.
Okay. So yeah, Reaver Scout Engine is 150% combat speed? I forget the number on that one.
But it's about 160 or 120 or something.
That's a fact.
I can't quite recall.
That's a fact engine.
Yeah, but it reduces your range by 50%.
Right.
So the range would go down to 22.5. Yeah, and you could, mix and match if you have to, just so they don't know what's going on. One's closing it, one's at longer range, and able to reduce your combat speed by 25%, while the other one is closing in, that only has a range of 22.5. There's a lot of things out there that can be done with this. I just basically wanted to introduce it to everybody as far as the way I think it's generally supposed to work.
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah. So, when it does have a 1 day, 10 hour, or at least for, basic fit is basically a day and a half, but there is only one thrower that you can fit on the ship. So it's, divided this by 3, divided by 5. It's not bad as far as, even with the Reaver Scout, and we'll be able to.
You can get the combat speed up to about 70 if you use that, and obliteration launcher warheads, and 3 D5 EVs. You can get it to keep up with a regular speed trencher fleet.
Yeah. So
the Reaver Scout Engine debuff should apply to both the built-in weapon and your forge fire.
Yep. Yep. So, and maybe it doesn't work that way, which would be spicy, but who knows? You never know. Sometimes things don't come out as intended or as expected. So, alrighty.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah. So,
I feel a comment coming.
What?
I feel a comment coming.
Okay.
Sorry.
So can you? The speed I haven't compared it to my Conquerors. What do? Just spend a bit of time kiting it for a few seconds till you pick it out, or
you can't drive it.
No, if you're
no kiting. Attack.
Okay.
Your attack just sort of.
Oh yeah, here's the part we missed. With 150 million health and 100,000 years deflection, it takes like one or 1.5 minutes for a Warhound fleet to take it out, 2, 3, 4 minutes for a trencher fleet to take it out. So it has very, very high health and very long survival time.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. As far as even if it never contacts the ship, if they spend a minute and a half, 2 minutes, or 4 minutes killing the ship, they have all that time is removed because you can't prep anymore. All that time is removed from them actually hitting your base. So yeah.
Right.
But does anybody want to? I think all of the kickside bases, except for was the 142, 146, whatever. What is it, Derpy?
142.
Okay, the rest of them have this in there. They have all the rest of the kickside bases have a Piranha in the base. So is anybody interested in, after all we've all the blueprint talk of actually hitting one and seeing what happens?
I would love to, except my Igloo has very terrible internet, it seems.
Okay, let me coin my repair. Just
Oh.
You've been hitting them, right?
I hit one. I didn't. I hit half cent. I hit half Centaur's real base on the map in one hit, which was interesting. And then I hit a 96. Then I hit a 142.
Okay.
Which was the easiest?
The 96 is I'm sure the easiest. The 110 or the 111 is definitely the hardest by far out of the ones that I hit.
And the 92 is still hard, right?
I'm not sure about the 92. It didn't look that bad. Okay, let's see.
Let me know when you're ready there, Derp.
I'm ready.
Okay. All right.
Just going to put on a fleet repairing while I'm out.
And so you've hit targets with these. Are they hitting the closest ship or the lowest health ship?
Out of what I could tell, I thought that they were hitting the lowest health ship. Maybe they're picking a target and sticking to it. But Braden said that the designer who made this, Kickside Braden, I pinged him about it in general chat, and he said they should just hit the ship with the normal AI targeting.
Okay.
So here's the 117. Let's hope my entrance angle is a good one. I have no idea which person this is.
I haven't looked to see who it is.
I think Kenny's Igloo may be transmitting some of that bad Wi-Fi over here.
Yeah, or you're stuck in the van again.
Okay, so we've got two of them right here. So I assume 3 gatekeepers. They are stuck behind gates, so they're not moving.
Mm-hmm.
Or they have sync drives, but they're stuck behind gates, so they're not moving. I want to wait for the gatekeepers to get above water. And why don't I zoom in? So once I kill this gate, this one's probably going to drive over to me, which I don't think I want it to do. Oh, here's a gatekeeper.
There you
go. They're all 3 the same service time, which is not the best design.
And he has 3 different mountains.
Oh, those do look like new mountains.
What?
A green one.
Yeah, the green one is new to me.
I'm not sure where that's from.
It's a skin.
Yeah, but where do we get it?
Yeah, because we seen the Reaver Mountain before.
Okay, now the Piranha's on me. It's gonna chase me down. Gonna do a really quick spin move.
Yeah, that's some combat speed.
Oh, you see the one on the top? It's gonna come towards me. Now, if this was a normal base hit, I could just completely ignore the piranhas and just kill the 7 buildings, and that would be that. But I've got to spend some time killing these things now, because I have to kill the whole target for this thing to time out. But luckily, I'm out of range of all the turrets, so they shouldn't do anything now. Warhounds seem to be the best at killing these because of the sheer number of projectiles.
Mm-hmm.
And using your rockets and staying in range should help. And I should probably unstack so only one ship is getting debuffed at a time instead of all 5. They're splash weapons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So once for these targets, once you kill these ships, you retreat and then you go back in, right? Because then all the debuffs to your deflection are gone.
Yeah, but
I'm already in the base, so there's
no,
nothing.
I know, but it doesn't reset because these are right.
Yeah, you're correct, but I'm taking damage from 2 cryo adders, and that's it right now.
Okay.
So I'll just kill those, and they probably didn't even finish off my deflection. But yes, you could retreat if you wanted to. But then how are you going to coin the 20 coin blitz?
Who invented the 20 coin blitz?
Oh, it's the 15. It takes 15 coins to blitz one of these things.
Okay.
Somebody did it within the first 20 minutes.
Yeah. It seems like a good David Bowie song.
It's like Ballroom Blitz, 20 coin blitz.
Yeah, whatever.
Ballroom Blitz was one of my songs on my playlist. There was a reason for that.
Yeah. Okay.
So this 117, not too bad. Although I did take 1/3 damage on my fleet.
Yeah, and you still got a gatekeeper, but
which is going to be free.
Okay.
I'm not going to mess up the timings on a gatekeeper. But yeah, these mountain skins. Where do I get one?
Yeah, it looks green mountains, but it is it'd be great if they changed seasonally.
That would be cool.
Because they're green now, and then they'd be
But what about Australia?
A couple of months, then then they're ice capped and
snow capped mountains.
No, they're just going to make you buy seasonal skins so that you can choose.
No, but it'd be cool if they had one that would change seasonally.
Yeah, but like you said, Australia. Somebody on the other side, their seasons are different.
Do they have mountains?
Does Australia have mountains?
Australia, I'm sure it has mountains.
I don't know that they have mountains. I don't know. I mean,
Australia has to have mountains.
If you went Chile, yeah. Chile has mountains, and they're in the southern hemisphere.
Well,
I don't know.
I don't know that.
Okay.
Well, Australia is probably not quite as cold as Chile because it's not named Chile, but.
No. I'm more about the mountains. Anybody in YouTube chat knows
South Wales. In South Wales, they have mountains.
Okay, how tall are they?
According to Google. Let's see. I don't know.
Okay.
Here's
7,300 feet.
Which one is this?
Mount. Shit, I can't say it. Kosiuszko. Cosigio. I don't know.
Derpy, which one is this?
Oh,
this is the 92.
The mountain.
And there are 3 of these things. 3 piranhas. I forget the name. On the outside. So I'm just going to kill those. And my deflection's way lower now, but I guess I'll retreat and hit it again. This guy does not appear to have a mountain from Australia. They're just regular mountains. So this, you can't prep these out in regular player bases. This is going to be interesting. I'm not quite sure if you could stick this behind your Gorgons or what. Something slowly down there. I can't quite tell what. Okay, this base isn't that bad. I believe this is very similar to the starter base that new players get. With more tech on it, though. I think
that's a starter base.
well, this doesn't have any tech on. The starter base would just have like the land and the portals at level 3. But yeah. I'm not sure how I feel about the 3 Piranhas being on the outside. Those might get moved in later again. I think they're better off on just inside the first portal. Right. Maybe you move the first portal forward more, so you can't just prep them out or something. Maybe I'll bring in a trencher and try running in a circle around the whole base just to see what happens. I do like that this base has no oil rigs on the outside.
Yeah, oil rigs on the outside are just mean.
Yeah, tell that to Half Centaur.
Half Centaur, it's mean.
He says he has to keep the drilling going. I think the exact words were "drill, baby, drill." Let's see. Well, I need another 5,000 bounty or 2,500 bounty. There's another 92. The 96 is the sweet spot from what I remember, unless they changed it up after the first one I hit. I'm just hitting through a bunch of bases. Feel free to go back to the slides if you want.
The 96.
Okay. Well, I know Calvin is from Australia. He says only hills. But Candy Apple has been to the Blue Mountains in Australia, which I'm...
Are they blue or white?
I don't know. So I'm going to go with Calvin on this one because I know he's from Australia. So
we could ask our favorite forum moderator.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. We could do a whole show on Friday. But, yeah. I'm going to post a link in case anybody wants to join the live show. We're 5 minutes before our, state mandated 1 hour show. So in case anybody would like to join, the link is on the right-hand side. If anybody has any tips and tricks on bounty, kicks employee bases that would like to do them, or show up for
TSM.
Yeah, I think he's still out there.
Yes, Australia. There's the Australian Alps. They have the Australia's only peaks exceeding 2,000 meters.
What's that in freedom units, please?
About what? 6,600 feet.
Yeah. So.
And there's snow on it, so yes, mountains.
Yeah.
Well, my point is, there's probably snow. Currently, it's winter in Australia, so they need snowy mountains, while I need my beach mountains.
Yeah.
So
it's different seasons.
The only beach mountains I know of are called volcanoes.
Volcanoes would look pretty good. That's kind of like the Reaver Mountains.
be.
Mhm.
Mount Kosciuszko is the biggest one.
Okay, yeah, I popped that up there for a bit. So,
But it's only a big hill.
yeah.
It's all relative.
Yeah. So, how is Bounty treating you, KB?
It's not at the moment. I haven't started.
Okay, alrighty. So, well, I'm not sure you're gonna have enough ships left, Derpy, because you said 96 is the sweet spot.
I'm sure I can get through 96 with this stuff.
Okay, because that might be a good thing for people to see as far as how to hit the 96. If that's the, because I've heard that's the people are doing that for less than 10 minutes of damage.
It did change a lot since last bounty.
It did.
Yeah, we're getting more requests for 96s.
I
Okay,
presume
well,
they haven't put a locator on the kick spaces.
Yeah, I hate that.
I'm still waiting for that one.
Yeah, we got a request from Mike's brother William. So
William Morfino?
William Hunt,
Oh, okay, as opposed to
his
Mike.
brother Mike. Yeah.
His brother Mike. I see.
Mhm.
I think there was also someone's. Let's see. Oh nope, they're not on the locator.
Okay.
I don't even know why I checked.
They're hard to find because everybody wants them.
Okay, if anyone sees a 96, yell.
Okay. Well, you have to click on those for us to see. So yeah.
You have to tell me if I see it or not.
Well, you're an alpha, right?
I'm not an alpha.
I can't. It's hard for me to see on my screen.
Well, I'm just gonna skip over it then if you don't tell me where it is.
I don't know where. I'm not even in your world.
There's
That's one.
There we go.
You're lucky to find one so quick.
Yep. Usually when there's two together, and when there, I only saw two at first. Then the 96 is already gone.
They generally have the ones you don't want
Exactly.
in large numbers.
Yep.
I'm sure it's an even spawn rate like that.
I'm sure it is, but everybody goes for certain ones, so they're going to disappear quicker. So the leftover ones. Now that changed already, because I don't think that was outside when I did it.
One was outside earlier, and one was inside when I hit it about half an hour into bounty.
I could have sworn they were both inside when I hit it right at 6 o'clock.
Where was the second one? Right here.
No, in the middle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because in this base, if this was a player base, and you had it in the middle, that might be too late to apply any sort of meaningful damage. Although, if you just have it behind this first portal, you can still.
I don't think the other one was behind the first gate either. I think they were both. One was in the middle and one. I can't remember. I think they both came out at the same time. So somebody's played with that already.
Yeah, these things do change a little, but I saw a few people complaining about the piranhas being in the Kickside employee bases, which is, I mean, you just don't have to hit them.
Well, when you can get 2,500 points for a Kickside employee base versus 200.
They're the only thing worth doing.
Yeah, that's what I normally do, is only hit the employee bases.
Yeah, me too.
The first day and when they come back the next time.
Right, and because at work I get like an hour or two when they come out the first time, and then I'll get a half a day the next time. So time's limited.
But it is interesting. The fire fields stay on the. This is from the thrower. The fire fields stay on the ground for a while. How is that impacting? I mean, do they only do the deflection reduction once, or do they do it every 0.2 seconds? If that makes
I'm not sure what you mean by the fire field.
Okay, I'm gonna watch you again.
The thrower puts down a fire field.
Does it?
Yeah, the
I thought
fire
it put
field
down an
sustained.
ice field.
Well, yeah, yes. There's the field sustains.
Well, was it coming from the
Well, there's a bunch of fire fields in here right now from the cataclysm mortars.
Okay, so that's what was outside of when you were outside the base. That's
Yeah.
what the okay.
There was one. This one right here was shooting at me. Or I guess this is a cold snap. Was shooting at me over there. So there's your 96 with 3 warhounds.
Okay, yeah, this is a fascinating design. I mean,
It's all the turrets on the outside, you know.
yeah, it is. It is interesting.
Well, now you see why everybody goes for this one first.
Yeah.
Although it has been updated a little bit, like you have a little bit of a channel and.
Yeah, it's definitely changed.
Yeah, but it's obviously doesn't play much.
Well, they have to leave an easier one for people like me. People like me that are used to base hitting, that we need the easier bases.
Even if you are used to base hitting, and say I can hit a base and take 3/4 of my fleeting damage, which would be a fairly low damage value actually. That would still be like an hour and a half of repair for one target when I need to hit 100 targets.
Yeah, so you're just saying as far as your expectation as far as hitting a player base is you don't need to hit 100 of them. You just need to hit.
No, you need to hit 500 of them.
No. I'm saying normal PvP. You don't go out and hit 500 player bases, right?
Right. No.
Okay, that's what. Yeah, but I don't think there's many people out there like, oh, I need to go out there and hit, tonight I need to go hit 500 player bases.
There goes the whole sector of the
world.
There goes the world.
Yeah, that's multiple sectors as far as yeah.
When the glitch was rampant, that's what happened.
Yeah, with the repair glitch, yeah, Black Tuesday and whatnot. So yeah.
Well, there's your 96. I just killed the first 2 piranhas and retreated.
Thank you.
Good. And you can't blitz it. Alrighty.
Can't blitz it.
We have.
And we can't go hit Derpy and get all those.
No one's going to be hitting me today.
There you go.
Don't challenge them.
Yeah, do it. Someone come hit me.
One more.
My coordinates, I will read them out.
Want the 4-hour bubble. Do you want to go to one more slide? Okay, the bounty store.
Yeah. It's up. The Piranha is a limit of 3, and they're 30,000 each. And then the thrower that goes with it is 10K. And you only need one. It's unlimited, and you can only put one on per ship. And the skins are the same cost as the actual ship, which I'm assuming is going to confuse some people. Like, okay, well, I want to claim. It does say the word skin on it. Before they didn't even use the word skin. So, and then you have 18K for all of the tier 9 damage specific armors.
Which again, the best one of those are ballistic, radioactive, maybe corrosive, and explosive, of course. Ballistic, explosive are top 2 armors.
Okay.
I have a silly question. The thrower, have you put it on any other ship? Wouldn't do
No.
it.
It's
I don't
tier
know.
locked, unfortunately.
No, it's not even tier
Otherwise,
locked. It's ship
or
locked.
ship
Go
locked.
back.
Otherwise, I'd put it on my Houndmaster
I
and
know, that's what I was thinking.
with twice the range and
go
just
back to slate
Yeah.
to slide 8.
we
Yeah,
believe you.
we believe you. That's good. I believe.
No, go back to slide 8, and you'll. It's ship locked.
Oops. Oh, it's Piranha. Okay.
Yeah.
I got smart on that. Okay.
Yeah.
So if y'all do bounty, try to get 2. Like Cafe said. That's good advice.
Yeah, if you can do it. So, all right. Is there anything else we should be talking about this evening?
Nope.
I don't know. If you haven't used your FM tokens yet, you might want to consider saving them if you're not already. I used mine, but
What?
For what?
for pillage until we see what the prize is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we'll see that and hopefully get some sort of indication in BP next week. And
Yeah, because we have. Let me see what slide to go to. Go to slide 10. This is the Forsaken mission, so we're in the first week of 4 weeks. Pillage shows up in cycle 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I'm not quite sure on the what update week are we in right now. Oh, y'all are right. Yeah, I was checking on the shipwrecks thing. Shipwrecks is also next week along with pillage. Huh.
yeah.
Well, okay.
Not next week. Week after.
Following week.
No. Right now we're in the 10.30 update.
Okay.
So what happens next week? A week from today.
Pillage.
Go back to slide 3.
Pillage
back
and
to-
shipwrecks are a week from today.
No, they're not both in the same week.
Yeah, they're not.
Oh, this is the mystery week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
The to be Canadian week is shipwrecks.
Okay. There we go. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it was
I don't
on.
know. I don't know that it actually makes sense, but it's the way it is.
I think it was
I think it makes sense.
on
Okay.
Bounty. Bounty. I was on BP next week.
Yeah.
They put that in there.
And the Blockbusters contest, which is now over. When do we get results on Friday?
Friday.
Yep. Friday, 20 minutes after I end the show.
Right.
Okay. And I guess I should not have built my last Everest. Or I still have 2 more Everest. My Everest refit time is actually pretty low. Like it's 3 days for me just to put all the specials and weapons on.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be ready anytime soon. I'm still upgrading my Mutineer, so
Alrighty. Well, we'll see you on Friday. Well, just so you know that soon after the show, Lady Cat's quite interested in the poster contest, and we might see more as far as the bounty store will be opened up, and people can see what's happening there as far as the how the actual players version of the Piranha actually works, and I don't know. Maybe we'll see some other things. And again, for the Zealot, if people feel like they have underperforming Zealots, and we have 8 days of build tokens, give it a shot. Come on the show, and we'll see if we can improve them.
or
And
what about if they have the opposite?
they have overperforming.
Yeah, that they found the most amazing build and they want to share it with the world. They should come on too.
Okay. Alrighty. And Ligo appreciates our lives, so that's all good.
Well, I appreciate our lives too, Liga. Thank you very much for appreciating my state of being.
Yeah, it's all good.
God, somebody's glad we're alive.
Yeah.
Oh, I have one more thing. The Hellswarm cap was raised to 5, which we
Okay.
expected to happen at some point. And there's an offer out for Hellswarm builds.
Great.
Okay. Yeah, he's corrected to the live show, but yeah. It'd be nice if you were thanking for our lives, but it's all good. So, alrighty. Well, we'll see you all on Friday. The link is not that far up in case you would like to join the after show, and we'll see you all then. And thanks for showing up.
Good night, all.
Later,
Good night.
people.